Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and today we will be going over a little bit of a secret in NCAA Football 14, and this is basically how to tailor your sliders to become more challenging and to allow you to have longer dynasties, not just, going straight to the top right away. We want to make this realistic with these rebuilds, so today I'm going to go over each slider, what it does, and how to effectively use it. In particular, I want to go over one slider in specific later on in this video, which will show you basically how to make passing the football a whole lot more realistic and a whole lot more challenging. So let's go over each one of these sliders. So first, QB accuracy. Now, QB accuracy is a couple of things. It's not only how accurate your quarterback is, but it's how quickly they start out the gate, how quickly they can throw footballs down the field accurately, and how fast they recover from incompletions. Those are the three things to remember for QB accuracy. Pass blocking is a couple of things. Now, first, obviously how well your offensive linemen and tight ends and running backs pass block. But the AI logic is the most important thing. How likely are they to pick up the right assignment? When the defense sends 6 guys and you have 5 blockers, how will your offensive line react? Sometimes with this pass blocking slider low, they might let 2 guys through. A lineman might just blow an assignment completely, but I like to keep this in the middle because you don't want, the CPU pass rush to be OP. So that is one thing to keep an eye on, how psychic linemen are. This goes for CPU and user offensive linemen. Wide receiver catching is probably the most cut and dry slider there is out of all of these, and it's basically your receiver's ability and anybody that catches the football to catch the football. It does not affect route running. It does not affect separation. It simply affects wide receiver catching in traffic, spectacular catch, and catching, running with the football. Running back ability is a couple of things. So first, how quickly your running back starts out of the gate. Are they going to have that stuck in the mud? The lower the slider, you're going to see when they start out the game, they're going to be very, very slow in getting a handoff. Also, their ability to juke, truck, and cut. And then lastly, their ability to break tackles. So having this as a high point for the CPU is definitely something that will make your dynasty and your gameplay a lot more challenging, but it's something to keep your eye on, especially knowing from a user standpoint where this slider should be. I like to have it at 45. 50 seems at default a little bit OP, like you can do a whole lot, so I like to keep it a little bit lower. If you keep it too low, your running back will be very, very slow out of the gate. It will be unrealistic. Now, run blocking itself kind of is similar to pass blocking. That AI is the most important thing to keep your eye on with these two sliders, pass block and run blocking. Basically, how well can your lineman and your fullback and whoever's blocking for the run pick up the run assignments? But this slider also determines how long they will hold a block. So it does not affect like what their push is going to be, does not affect the ratings. It mainly affects how long they will hold a run block. That kind of goes hand in hand with pass blocking as well. But pass blocking, I like to think, is more of an AI based slider. Like how likely are they to pick up the right assignment during a blitz? So you want to keep your eye on balancing these two things, because these two sliders will determine how long you have to pass the ball and obviously how long you have to determine to hit the hole when running the ball. Now, pass coverage is the particular slider I want to go over in more detail later, but this is not, it does not go how the other sliders go. Let me explain. Going to 100 does not make the pass coverage better. It actually makes the pass coverage worse. A good way to think of this slider is pass reaction time. Madden had this as an actual slider a couple of years ago. Now it's just pass coverage, but it's basically the time that it takes for a DB to react to a wide receiver route. So going at 100 is going to take a longer time for that DB to react, and going to 0 will take a shorter time to react. That is effective in zone and man. So basically it's how long the DB takes to react to the route, and also after the quarterback releases the football. Interceptions, pretty self-explanatory. And honestly, there's one small detail of this slider that people leave out. It's not just the ability to intercept the ball, it's the likelihood that they will go after an interception. So will they knock the ball down or will they attempt an interception? There are obviously two different things there. A swat and an interception. The lower the slider, the less likely they are to go after interception. Rush defense is pretty self-explanatory, but it really affects the pursuit of the defenders and the reaction time when a run play is called by the offense. So play actions, if the rush defense is high, will not work as good. It just won't work as good. But if it's, in the middle, you kind of have that, balance between, hey, is the defense going to be affected by the run or by a play action or a pass? And rush defense affects the pursuit angles as well. Tackling is obviously the tackling ability. It kind of goes hand in hand with rush defense a little bit and affects, their ability to pursue the football. And the rest of the sliders are pretty self-explanatory. I don't need to go over any of those. So these are the base college football revamped sliders. I will leave a link in the description so you guys can download those. You have to join the Discord. Then I would just search for these in the search bar and see, what version they're on. These change from time to time after a certain amount of time. The community is doing an excellent job with these. But here's the tweak I like to make with them. I like to make the CPU a little bit better. You don't want to make the CPU OP. But like I said, that pass coverage slider is the one thing that people do take for mistake. It's at 100 at default. That will make the pass defense reaction, the pass coverage reaction, slower rather than faster. And we will just go over, the differences between having it at 100 and having it at 0. But here's what I like to play with right here. But we will just show you quickly what it looks like with the pass coverage on 100 by default. So let's just hop into the playbook right now and go over, a scenario and a kind of a route that is basically determined by this slider. So we will go wide receiver in, empty 5 wide shotgun set. We will go 4-2-5 over on the defensive side of the ball, and we will kind of do cover 2 man. We'll just run a route that is open over the middle, doesn't have any help with the safety. So we will be throwing to Worthy on this play, who is wide left. And here is Ewers at quarterback. He throws across the middle, but let's just break this pass down. And obviously the throw was inaccurate, but let's look at Worthy on this route. So obviously man coverage. Now, first off, inside release. I mean, just absolutely fools the defender. This is with the pass coverage at 100. Number 1 at cornerback did not even realize until the guy was 3 yards past him that he was already past him. So now in breaking route at about the 20-yard line, I mean, this is about 3-4 yards of separation, maybe even more than that. And that's with the pass coverage at 100. As you can see, the defender did not react well to that route from the jump. So now let's go back to this slider, adjust it, run the same exact play, put the pass coverage, I like to call it pass coverage reaction time, down to 0. And now let's run that exact same play, not change a thing. So let's check out Ewers, another inaccurate throw across the middle. But now let's go to the replay. As you can see on this play, the TCU defender acted really smartly to this. Obviously, it's the CPU. There's going to be some, psychic stuff going on. But as you can see, he's not fooled right away. He's running with him stride for stride. In cutting route at the 20. Now take a look. Look at the outside leg of the TCU defender. Instead of turning the opposite way on the route, he plants and kind of runs with Worthy a little bit. He kind of reads that route and runs with him. Now, I like that a lot, but here's the reason why I like it. It forces you to have a different game plan. Where do you go with the football? Well, we have the wheel route right here. But these are the matchups that you have to take advantage of now with this pass coverage at 0. Number 15 is a slot receiver or a tight end. He's matched up with a linebacker. This is where you go with the football, especially during man coverage situations. These are your primary reads now, and this is why you had to play realistic football with that pass coverage at 0. But let's go to an in-game scenario where I'm still going to throw to that route. So here is a play with our Missouri team for our Coach Carousel Dynasty, a throw across the middle, and we're going to throw an accurate throw, but let's break this down. Now look at the Oregon State defender. Same thing. The outside foot plants, he stays with the route the entire way. But here's the thing. If you have a more athletic receiver, you can still go to this guy, but you have to buy time. And that's what we did. We rolled to the right, bought some time, and the throw has to be realistic. It has to be perfect, right on the money. We can still throw those routes. It's just that you have to be smarter when throwing them. You can't just throw it knowing that the route's going to be open. And that's exactly, what we did on that play. So I want to show you just a couple of passes here, and passes that now you have to kind of throw now with this slider at 0. You have to take advantage of those tight ends, of those slot receivers that are guarded by the linebackers and even defensive linemen at points. But the slants still do work. You see right there, Worthy was open on the slant route. We threw it, and it was just an inaccurate throw. But let's just take a look. Good coverage. Just an excellent release on the inside. The defender still reacted well, but even with this slider at 0, you can still create separation. But I do want to talk about, a couple of routes that are still kind of OP, and that is mainly the curl route. But as you can see, a couple of deeper passes, this is what you have to look forward to. These throws are a lot more, rewarding now. Just like this, a simple fade route, a simple go route. Your offensive player is just better, and the quarterback just throws a perfect throw. Like, these are the rewarding plays that you get out of having that pass coverage at 0. But like I said, there is one route that is just too OP, even with this slider at 0, and it is the curl route. As you can see, even though these throws are inaccurate, no matter if it's press coverage or off coverage, these routes are like wide open. I mean, if this throw is accurate, these are first downs every single time. You can see the curl route wide open. I suggest not throwing curl routes. It's just an OP route in NCAA Football 14 / College Football Revamped, but still. This slider at 0 will change your dynasty and change the way you play your dynasties. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think below. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. I might have more videos like that, but these sliders hopefully will help you in your dynasty journey. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiending. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still trying to fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war.